This is a really tough video to make because I'm actually gonna eat a lot of my words that I've uttered for the last year. Full disclosure, I am a Sony FX3 A7S3 owner, and for an entire year I ran around telling everybody this price point for what you get, this camera is the greatest, absolutely nothing is beating it when it comes to picture quality. And I used it on all my client work. My company had the biggest year yet, and I've never been happier until I ran into one problem. Naturally, I was obsessed with picture quality, and the work that I wanted to give to my clients was unlike anything else. I wanted them to look at it and just say, man, this belongs in theaters. I can't believe this is me. I've never looked this good. And that was the entire goal. So much so that I got Atomos Ninja V recorders. I shot in ProRes HQ, 10-bit, and naturally wanted to move up to 12-bit. Now, on the Sonys, you can do that with an Atomos Ninja V recorder. You can actually shoot through that recorder in full ProRes RAW 12-bit. The only problem is I edit in DaVinci. And DaVinci and ProRes RAW don't really go hand in hand. So naturally, because of this problem, I started to look outside my own walls for a solution, just because I want the best picture quality possible, and 12-bit RAW is naturally the next step. There's something special about 12-bit RAW when it comes to the highlight roll-off. There's something special about the mundane looking a tiny bit better. And for me, that's everything. These little things are unfair advantages in my business, and I want to stack them up one on top of the other. This led me to the Canon C70. I heard that it got a 12-bit RAW internal update through firmware, and at the very least I had to explore this, so I did as much research as possible, and the more I researched this camera, the more I fell in love with it. It shoots 12-bit RAW internally. It has a DGO sensor, dual gain output. For the most part, that's one sensor for the highlights, one sensor for the shadows, and it merges the picture together. The only other camera I could think of that does this is the Alexa, so right there, that's incredible. It's a Super 35 sensor. Not necessarily the best, just because I'm used to full frame sensors. I just want as much light as possible, but with a speed booster, it actually supercharges the average lens, gives it a one-stop extra light, so it turns my zoom lenses from an f2.9 to an f2.0 and gives them a near full frame equivalent. Naturally, I picked up a Canon C70. I threw a speed booster on it. I threw a Canon L series zoom lens on it, and I just filmed a couple of things in my room, nothing too crazy, in 12-bit RAW. The second I put that footage into DaVinci Resolve and I had a chance to play with it, my life was forever changed. Just on that merit alone, the Canon C70 is miles apart from the FX3 and the Sony A7S III for my workflow. And I will forever be changed. So much so that I am going to replace my Sony workflow and move over to Canon. If you found any bit of value in this video, make sure you subscribe because there's a lot more on the way.